Let's start turning my mic on. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Thames episode of the Resistance Fellow Man Glitch Exhibition series. So, unfortunately, it's been a while. There's been some incidents. I had to redo my whole stream setup. I'm now streaming in 480p at 30 FPS. I apologize if that bothers anyone. It's just how it has to be. I also can't use a webcam anymore. Some people probably liked the webcam, some didn't. It's whatever. And lastly, I can't make it full screen. So the timer and stuff is going to be here for the next two videos. But I'm sure that's okay with you guys. I might be able to change the resolution around, but I wanna be safe. Change the resolution will probably just break it unnecessarily. But anyway, without further ado, let us get started. I have a list of notes here. So Thames is gonna be mostly ooh, look at this. This is something interesting and a lot less. Ooh, look at this. This is actually useful. There were a couple useful things here that I can definitely point out. But in the meantime, we have to get through this first fight first. Apparently they're all dead. So, you could do this however you want. The triggers to it are this stalker, or the two stalkers and the Widowmakers. The way I like to do it is what you just see right there. Kill that stalker, throw this grenade type that I'm blanking on. Have another log ready for Stalker 2 that's gonna come up. You wanna time it correctly so that you don't lose your backlash, but it's pretty irrelevant. So after that, you just gotta wait around, preferably not die or take excessive damage, while you wait for the third enemy that's required to show up, which is a Widowmaker. And you can actually kill this Widowmaker literally all the way back there, but I've never gotten that lucky. Your goal is to try to get it to walk like into your Lark. If you do that correctly, you'll be able to essentially kill it instantly. I failed there, but I was able to get lucky and hit it from the back with the Lark. You can never skip that cutscene. It will always pop up for a couple frames, unlike every other cutscene. So yeah, that's the first room. You might remember casualties being a lot worse. It's really just Stalker, Stalker, Widowmaker. Try to collect ammo. There's Lark ammo up there and up there. Just be safe. Collect it what you can. Okay, so a lot of this, like I said, is just going to be really cool or interesting things to point out. And they mostly come in twos. So, like, you can clip into this floor here. And you can see under the floor. You do the same thing on the other side. Over on this side, Stalker. I don't know what it is. These aren't copy-pastes of each other directly, but they weren't textured well, nonetheless. So, yeah. It's just interesting if you're looking around. Another thing of note is you can hop on this wall here. And from here, you can actually not fall down. From here, you can actually go hop around, get onto this wall, then this wall, and then this wall. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find anything from up here. I tried going around, I tried going up, to see if I could get anything. Doesn't look like there's any kind of out of bounds there, which is unfortunate. So the rest of the level is that way, so I don't know what you'd get from that. These corners of this arch of the bridge here, you can clip into, I believe it's these two corners. I have to find it again. I did this a while ago. Bridge arch times 2 push through. I know it's symmetric, so. I think it's this one. You see him like trying to push through? I don't know if it's working, but you could push through it. Let's see. Got that. I made a checklist because it was going to be a while, so I apologize for these periods of stagnation here. Oh. So yeah, I've explored around here. This floor is not real. I've not really, I didn't find anything. What you saw right there, though, is that's actually an animation that you only see at this point in the game. Hale kind of like flails his arms and legs. There's nowhere else in the game where he does that. Usually he just hits the ground and instantaneously dies. So, yeah, interesting fact there. They did actually program some kind of fall animation into Hale's model. Another thing I'd like to point out is I actually think these stalker spawns are kind of random. So, like, you see how long that stalker took to spawn right there? Whereas, if I don't know quite how it works. It might be manipulated by the player in terms of how close they are to it. Because I've had it spawn before Cartwright was even done talking. See, this one seemed to spawn much quicker. I don't know how they work, but they definitely seem semi-random. Probably player manipulated, or possible to be manipulated by the player. Thankfully this level's not very long, so doing this twice is not really a big deal. Yeah, you want to take him out as soon as possible. Oh dear. Hello. Yep. So if you're skipping the cutscene, that's usually what you get. You get that flash and done. This guy will actually infinitely respawn until you've pressed far enough into the level. The rest of this, until a little bit, is how you want to run this. Just doing all these little skips. You really want Dragon here. It's just so good. But you want to make sure you save Dragon for the final level, because it's very important at the final level. So usually what you do is you skip all these guys, you go around whatever side you're more comfortable with, and you just continue on. But I want to point something out and hopefully not die here. Where did you come from? Let's kill him. He's gonna be tedious. That word is not a noun. I graduated the English. So there are a couple buildings here on this roof, specifically two. you can see like this kind of structure here, where you can go into the corner and kill the enemy that's chasing you. Push, and if you are at the right corner, which I might not be at, there we go. I didn't expect to have to duck. Oh my god, okay. So ducking actually allowed me to clip in, get on top of it, and then get all the way up. So that was cool. But what I was talking about was these doors, I believe. You go to these doors, maybe? This is why you want to record, like, right after you find these things. Because then you're not walking around in the video looking like an idiot. This gives me time to think. I know you can also do this one. Excuse me? So you see I'm clipping into this one. And here, you can clip like this far in. One last note is, if you could find a way to get from that roof over onto this roof here, it would require clearing this gap. You could skip a good chunk of this level, because that roof connects over to this roof. You're meant to be able to jump between these two. So, something to look for there. Getting on top of that roof was fun, but there's literally nothing you could do from on top of that. You would jump a few roofs and that's that. So jump around this corner, skipping these guys. I like to, you can throw backlash if you have it. You want to try to save backlashes so that you go into Tower 1 with at least one backlash, which you're probably tight on at this point already, so if you can do that, that's great. So you do be careful with your backlashes. If you only have one, compromise here and figure something else out. The last thing in Thames 2, because the end level trigger is right there, is to not get shot by enemies like this guy. The last thing in Thames 1, because I think I said Thames or Tower 2, is, and this is from multiplayer, but you can also do it in single player, is there's like a little, yeah, like this. This is the one furthest, I don't know what to call them, the like bush column furthest to the left. And you can, excuse me, do some combination of like ducking and pushing, and you can clip through the wall. I don't know how you do it in single player. I know that in multiplayer you can do it really easily with, I think, this one. It might be this one, but yeah, the multiplayer glitches are a little bit different. But yeah, you can do it in single player, or you can do it in story mode, but it's much easier in the multiplayer version. So anyway, yep, that's Thames 1, and I'll see you guys in Thames 2.